Are we live? It looks like we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Asylum. I'm your host, Gabriel. I hope everyone had a great day today. I definitely did. And I hope everyone who is having a great day, I hope everyone who's watching this video is also having a great day. And it's Wednesday. You know what that means. AEW Dynamite was tonight. Tonight's episode was the fallout from Sunday's iconic show of All Out. This was the fallout of AEW All Out 2021, and it was a good show. It was a good show. Like, nothing too crazy. Like, it wasn't one of AEW's strongest shows. There were some flaws that I will talk about in this review, but I thought this was a really good show. I thought this was a really, really good show. Honestly, most of those flaws come out of most of the matches. Like, for most of these matches, I felt one way or another something felt very sloppy. I'll get into more detail about the matches during the AEW Dynamite review, but I thought the interviews and the segments were amazing. And the matches, like Jon Moxley versus Minoru Suzuki, that fucking delivered. I'll talk to you about that match in a little bit. Also, the Shawn Spears FTR versus the Dark Order match, that was also great as well. Oh, also Ruby Soho, Jamie Hayter. I thought that was a great match as well. Though there was one part where I was kind of like, that could have been bad. But yeah, like the first half, the show had flaws. Okay, I won't go out of my way to say that this AEW Fallout show was perfect, but it was still a very fun, very enjoyable show, in my opinion. It wasn't exactly a strong AEW show, but I'm not expecting every AEW show to be absolutely perfect or absolutely strong. I thought AEW gave us enough to entertain us, or at least entertain me, and I thought, despite its flaws, I still thought it was a very fun, very enjoyable show tonight. Now, I do got some news to cover, two of which involves AEW and one of which involves WWE. So before we talk about AEW Dynamite, let's talk about the wrestling news that happened today. So, right off the bat, let's talk about the smallest news. Kenny Omega became number one of the PWI 500s list. Okay, defeating everyone, including Roman Reigns, which is very, very interesting. Now, again, it's subjective. Like, some people like Kenny Omega, some people like Roman Reigns. Personally, I say good for Kenny Omega. Good for Kenny Omega. And honestly, like, I've seen people on social media, like, being butthurt over this, but why? It's just a subjective matter. It just so happens that the PWI likes Kenny Omega more than Roman Reigns. But if you think you like Roman Reigns more, then good for you. Like, I just think it's funny that some people are butthurt over an award that doesn't even fucking matter anyways. Okay, again, good for Kenny Omega. He's apparently the top superstar for the PWI 500. And again, it's not really a big deal. It's just another pointless award, to be perfectly honest. So I don't know why people are butthurt. It's just a subjective award. It just so happens that the people that are in charge of the PWI, the people that are in charge of making this list, just like Kenny Omega more than Roman Reigns. Okay, again, it's all about subjective. Like, the people that made this list are not saying like, oh, Kenny Omega is just the best in the world, and that's just a fact. No, that's not the case. It's just very subjective. It's a very subjective award. Okay, it just so happens that the people who made this list like Kenny Omega more than Roman Reigns. So I don't understand why people are so butthurt like they were today on Twitter over something that is not really important. That's just me. That's just me. But yeah, those are my thoughts on that. But congratulations to Kenny Omega on being number one of this year's PWI 500. After that, the next piece of news I want to talk about is Tessa Blanchard. Tessa Blanchard. Okay, and so there's an article going around today on social media. Someone from Body Slam Net got an exclusive that both WWE and AEW basically blackballed Tessa Blanchard. Both companies do not want to sign Tessa Blanchard. Now, again, I'm going to read the article from bodyslam.com. If you guys want to read the article for yourself, the links are in the description. So if you guys want to read the article for yourself, the link is in the description. But here's what it has to say, basically. AEW held their annual All Out pay-per-view this past Sunday night in Hoffman Estates, just outside of Chicago, Illinois. The event featured the Women's Casino Battle Royal match, which promised to deliver a surprise for the fans. In the days leading up to All Out, there were rumors that began to circulate that Tessa Blanchard might potentially pop up as a participant in the match. There was even a small chant that broke out during the match, found from a section of the crowd saying, "We want Tessa," to which the rest of the audience responded to a loud, "No, we don't." Tessa added fuel to the rumor mill fire last week when she posted a picture of herself and lots of Ted DiBiase dollars on her social media account, making many wonder where she might end up. Prior to All Out, I spoke with sources about Tessa Blanchard and the possibility of her showing up to AEW or even potentially WWE programming. I was told that the only major American company that has been in talks with her ever since leaving Impact was the NWA. But additionally, I was told that there are currently no plans for her to appear in either WWE, NXT, or AEW. One source added, "She's nuclear. Nobody wants near her." I was also told a few months back while speaking with a prominent independent promoter, and when her name came up, he said, "I had to stay away. She's nuclear right now." Back in August on an episode of the Push podcast, following our interview with ROH star Brian Johnson, the podcast shifted topics, one of which was AEW Dynamite the night before in Houston, Texas. I reported that Daga was backstage again at Dynamite the previous night. Daga, if you were not aware, is married to Tessa Blanchard. While speaking to sources within AEW at the time, I asked if Tessa Blanchard ever had been backstage with Daga and was told never. You can see the episode below. And that's basically all is said in the article. Again, if you guys want to read the article, the link is in the description. And the video that they're talking about, it's still there on their article. So if you guys want to watch the video is on the article. And again, the link is in the description. So yeah, literally my thoughts on this. Honestly, Tessa Blanchard has no one to blame but herself. She literally has no one to blame but herself. And it's sad too. It really, really is. Because at one point, I considered Tessa Blanchard as one of the best female wrestlers in the world today. Shit, I still think that Tessa Blanchard is still one of the best female wrestlers on the planet today. It's been a while since I've seen her wrestle. But again, those allegations, man, they really hurt her. They really, really did. Now, in case you guys don't know, in case you guys are not familiar with the Tessa Blanchard situation, basically, I believe it was like a couple years ago, maybe 5 years ago, maybe. It was a good amount of time ago where Tessa Blanchard, like, it was during that time where Tessa Blanchard was going to win the Impact World Championship, and Allison Kay and a bunch of other ladies basically exposed Tessa Blanchard and basically said all these allegations of her basically being extremely toxic backstage, like, and saying all these horrible experiences with Tessa Blanchard, which really gave Tessa Blanchard a really, really bad reputation. Of course, Tessa Blanchard never really came out with what happened. Okay, she never addressed the situation. She never addressed the allegations. Again, I won't judge completely Like, I don't know if she's innocent. I don't know if she's guilty. But literally, she has said nothing for the last couple years, ever since these allegations show. She said nothing. She just kept silent, and that's it. It really, really doesn't help her case. Okay? Like, Tessa Blanchard can come out clean right now. Like, maybe she could come out clean tomorrow. And if she is innocent, then why did she wait like for a couple of years? Why did she stay silent when all these ladies were saying these allegations? If she was innocent, why is she speaking out now? Why didn't she say anything before? It gives her a bad reputation. And if she's guilty, she's guilty. But either way, her reputation is screwed anyways. Okay? And it would be even worse if Tessa Blanchard was innocent. Okay, it still gives her a bad reputation, and it still gives a lot of people, including WWE and AEW, a lot of suspicion because, again, like, it would just, like, perception is reality, and it would just appear to not just the fans, but also the companies as well, WWE and AEW, that she's just a liar, even if she's innocent. Okay, because she has been silent for all these years. Okay, and that's the thing just in general. Like, I just, like, this is just me, but I just don't understand why so many people keep secrets and, like, they don't do anything about it. Like, honestly, like, Tessa Blanchard, right? If she was innocent, then why didn't she come out? Why didn't she say anything when the allegations were being thrown at by so many ladies? Okay, like I'm very suspicious of Tessa Blanchard. Now, I'm not gonna go out of my way to say that Tessa Blanchard has done these horrible things to these ladies, but I won't be surprised if she ends up being guilty because she has been silent for the last couple years, saying nothing, no apologies, no address, nothing. Okay, how the hell are the fans supposed to trust you? How the hell is WWE and AEW supposed to trust you if you haven't been, like, when you haven't been cleared? Like, how is anyone, like, the company, the companies, the fans, how is anyone supposed to trust you if you're not even going to defend yourself? Okay, I thought it was a dumb move for Tessa Blanchard to stay silent. Innocent or guilty. Okay, she should have addressed it. She should have addressed the allegations. She really would have addressed the allegations. She just keeps digging her own hole. Okay, and it just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. Look, I love Tessa. Tessa Blanchard is a great wrestler. She is one of the best female wrestlers on the planet. And I don't want another female wrestler. Okay? I don't want another great wrestler, period, to deal with this kind of situation. But again, this is basically the Velveteen Dream situation all over again. It's a Velveteen Dream situation all over again. Okay? It took, like, it doesn't matter if Velveteen Dream was innocent or guilty. It took him a long time for him to say anything at all about the allegations and whether he is innocent or not. Like it doesn't matter if he's innocent or not. His reputation was already ruined and he got fired for it. The same thing with Tessa Blanchard. Nobody wants to work with her. A lot of fans lost a lot of trust in her. And yeah, like, either way, she is screwed. And she has no one to blame but herself. If she is guilty, she is guilty and she has no one to blame but herself. But if she's innocent, then again, she's still screwed because she kept silent for all these years after these allegations were thrown at her, and she said nothing, absolutely nothing about the allegations. Okay, which makes her a lot more guilty, not just to the fans, but to the companies as well, both WWE and AEW. And I can understand why WWE and AEW doesn't want to sign Tessa Blanchard. Why sign a person that has potentially a very dark past? Okay, not to mention that a lot of people still haven't forgave her for it. Like as you said, like there's you like it said in the article, there were people Sunday night, like there's like a small group of people that wanted Tessa Blanchard to come, where 90% of the audience, okay, said no, we don't. Not to mention the fact that people on Twitter are still giving her shit for it. Okay, a lot of fans have not forgave her for Tessa Blanchard. And I think it's a smart move by both WWE and AEW to stay away from a person who has a lot of nuclear heat away from her. And again, Tessa Blanchard has no one to blame for herself. Okay, if she's guilty, then she's just a bitch. But if she is innocent, I still don't feel sorry for her because she should have said something from the get-go. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say on that. Okay, but yeah, either innocent or guilty, it doesn't really matter. Her reputation is basically in shambles right now, and she has no one to blame but herself. And the one more piece of news I want to talk about before we talk about AEW Dynamite tonight, what is from WWE, and a matter of fact, it involves Triple H. So it has, of course, Vince McMahon wasn't on last Friday's SmackDown or last Monday's Raw. And of course, a lot of people speculated on why, but of course, it's more than likely been confirmed why. So, of course, WWE made an official statement today at around 4:31 p.m. and this is what the official statement had to say. Paul Levesque, aka Triple H, underwent a successful procedure last week at Yale New Haven Hospital following a cardiac event. The episode was caused by a genetic heart issue, and Paul is expected to make a full recovery. So, yeah, it looked like Triple H had a very serious heart disease, or like a very like heart issue event last week, and he was in the hospital for it. And like I'm just happy that Triple H is okay, because when I saw this statement, this got me worried. This got me really, really worried. But I'm glad Triple H is okay, and I hope he has a speedy recovery. I really, really hope he does. Okay. And like I can judge Vince McMahon for creative decisions and business decision, and rightfully so, but I would never judge him for his character. Okay, like obviously Vince McMahon, of course, had to leave work because he wants to make sure that his son-in-law is okay. Okay, so I'm not gonna hate Vince McMahon for that, and nobody should hate Vince McMahon over that. And matter of fact, what I saw was fucking disgusting today. I saw some tweets today where they made this entire situation into a fucking AEW versus WWE or AEW versus NXT kind of thing. And what the fuck? Really? There's no time for that. I understand if you don't like WWE. Trust me, I don't like WWE as much as the next guy. But this entire situation, that's beyond that. Okay, we're talking about a fucking life that almost died. We're talking about a human being that almost died. This is beyond wrestling wars. This is beyond professional wrestling. Okay, a man almost died, and the father-in-law just wanted to make sure that he is okay. Okay, like I understand not liking WWE, and rightfully so. But don't hate Vince McMahon because he wanted to make sure that his son-in-law is okay. Don't make this shit into another WWE versus AEW war or AEW versus NXT war. If you want to do that shit, fine. Okay, but don't do that at the expense of a human being's health. Okay, don't do that. Okay, that's just very low and completely fucked up. Okay, that's all I gotta say on that. I hope Triple H makes a speedy recovery. I really, really hope he does. Like, after reading this got me very worried, and I'm just glad he's okay. I'm very glad he's okay. But yeah, that's all I gotta say on that. I wish Triple H, I wish Hunter a speedy recovery. But yeah, that's basically all I gotta say on that. And again, I don't care if you do WWE versus AEW Twitter wars, or I don't care if you do AEW versus NXT Twitter wars, but don't do it at the expense of a human being's health. Don't do that. Like, there's a time to do a Twitter war, and there's bro, it's just fucking unnecessary. Okay, if you want to be a part of that Twitter war, fine. Okay, if you guys want to do WWE, do like a WWE versus AEW or AEW versus NXT Twitter war, then that's on you. Okay, I don't mind it. Okay, shit, I do. I go against a lot of what WWE does as well. Okay, but you don't see me, okay, going after like a person's health to advance my agenda of AEW is better than WWE. This is beyond that. We're talking about a human being's health. Okay. Again, if you guys want to do that Twitter war, then good for you. But don't do it at the expense of a human being's health. Okay, that's just fucked up. And for anyone today that uses Triple H's health condition, okay, to advance their agenda in their WWE versus AEW war, you can go fuck yourself. Okay, because that's just fucked up. Okay. That's all I gotta say on that. Again, I hope Triple H is okay, and I really hope he has a speedy recovery. I love you, Triple H, and again, I hope you have a speedy recovery. So that's basically all I gotta say on that. Now, without further ado, let's talk about the show. And again, AEW Dynamite tonight wasn't the strongest show, but it was still a very fun and enjoyable show, in my opinion. So let's talk about the show. So right off the bat, we got Malachi Black going against Dustin Rhodes. And oh my God, Malachi Black, man. Malachi Black has one of the most badasses entrances. He has one of the best entrances right now in professional wrestling currently. His entrance is so fucking badass. It's ridiculous. I love Malachi Black. And I was going into this expecting this to be a good match, and it was still a good match, but I felt like it was kind of sloppy a little bit. I'm not going to lie. It felt a little bit sloppy in certain areas. It felt a bit slow for my life. I don't want to say sloppy because nothing in this matchup was very sloppy. There's one or two things, especially the ending where Malachi Black did the black mask to Dustin Rhodes. That was pretty sloppy, but yeah, I thought the storytelling of this matchup was great. I liked the part where Malachi Black brought out Cody's boot, and he wanted Dustin Rhodes to use the boot on Malachi Black. Basically, Malachi Black wants Dustin Rhodes' dark side to come out. Obviously, that failed. And again, I thought it was still a really good matchup to start off the show, though I felt like the storytelling kind of carried this matchup. If it wasn't for the storytelling, then this matchup wouldn't be too special. But again, I thought this was a pretty decent match for what it was. I thought it was a good way to start off the show. I thought both men did a decent job. The chemistry wasn't exactly there. Again, it wasn't a perfect match. Again, there was one or two things that was sloppy, and most of the matchup was kind of it was a way too slow for my liking. I don't mind slow wrestling, but I kind of like slow wrestling done right. And like I don't know, like something in this matchup felt so weird. It felt so off. And again, the storytelling carried this matchup more than like the in-ring ability of both men. I felt like the storytelling kind of carried the match, which is there's nothing wrong with that. There really isn't. Okay, I felt like the storytelling and was enough to make this a really good matchup. And again, I thought the matchup was good. I really did. It's just I felt like it was just a little too slow. And I felt like there was like one or two spots that was kind of sloppy, especially the ending with the black mat. But I thought it was pretty decent. I thought it was a pretty decent way to start off the show. Malachi Black picks up the victory. And again, I thought it was a very, very good match. Okay. So that's all I got to say on that. After that, we get a promo by the Lucha Brothers, the new AEW Tag Team Champions, Cero Miedo, and basically saying that we're the tag team champions. We earned this shit by blood, and they're basically ready for all comers. So that's basically the promo for the Lucha Brothers. After that, we get a promos by both Eddie Kingston and Miro. And it looks like the rivalry is not over between Eddie Kingston and Miro. And I cannot wait to see the sequel in the near future. Maybe they might run it back at Arthur Ashe Stadium. But yeah, I think that's going to be a great match. They delivered last Sunday at All Out. I thought their matchup at All Out was great. I thought it was a great, great match. And I cannot wait to see the sequel between Eddie Kingston and Miro for the TNT Championship. After that, we get a segment with CM Punk. CM Punk comes out. A lot of people going crazy. A lot of people love CM Punk. Basically, CM Punk is saying that AEW is a place to be. We have Ruby Soho. We have Bryan Danielson. We have Adam Cole. Damn, it feels good to be in AEW. And then, of course, CM Punk basically said, what's next for AEW? And all these people are saying like suggestions. And then all of a sudden, Taz interrupts and basically saying to CM Punk that Punk has been talking crap about Team Taz behind their backs, even though CM Punk said like nobody asked for, like, I didn't ask to face Team Taz. So yeah, CM Punk kind of talk crap about Taz and Team Taz there. By the way, the promos and the segments tonight definitely carried the show, in my opinion. The segments tonight in this show was absolutely phenomenal. Like every single segment I thought was incredible, in my opinion. It definitely carried the show for me. But yeah, Taz basically threatening Punk that you shouldn't call out Team Taz. But then CM Punk said that I want Hook. I want Powerhouse Hobbs. I want Ricky Starks. And yo, CM Punk versus Ricky Starks? Yo, that would be a great match. Yo, you know what would be even better? CM Punk and Brian Cage versus Will Hobbs and Ricky Starks. Yo, that would be an incredible tag team match. Shit, I think they should do that matchup in the Arthur Ashe New York City show. I think that would be a great match for that card. Are you kidding? I think that would be great. But yeah, so it looks like CM Punk, versus Team Taz would be Punk's next big program. And yeah, I'm definitely that it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting where AEW goes with CM Punk and Team Taz. But it's definitely going to be very, very interesting. After that, we get a promo by Proud and Powerful, Santana and Ortiz. And they're coming for the Lucha Brothers AEW Tag Team Championships. And it makes sense too. Santana and Ortiz defeated FTR, and the Lucha Brothers defeated the Young Bucks. And in matter of fact, I'm pretty sure Santana and Ortiz is like number 2, number 3 in the rankings. Hold on, let me look at the AEW rankings right now. I'm pretty sure that Santana and Ortiz were apart, like was top 2, top 3. Yeah. So, okay. So apparently Santana and Ortiz are number 4 in the tag team ratings. Okay. So the Young Bucks are so number 1. Draxix, which is kind of confusing. Then again, the rankings are just pretty random anyways. So, yeah, I'm not going to talk about the rankings, but but yeah, that's basically one of the big flaws of AEW. The rankings could be very hard to follow. But the Proud and Powerful are teasing a matchup with the Lucha Brothers for the AEW tag team titles, and I am very excited for that. I am very, very excited for that. Okay, that is going to be incredible. That sounds like a match of the year candidate. Hear me out. I think AEW should either do Proud and Powerful versus the Lucha Bros for the tag team titles, either at Arthur Ashe Stadium or at Full Gear. Either way, that matchup needs to happen in one of those big shows, because Proud and Powerful versus the Lucha Bros is way too big of a matchup to do on a regular Dynamite, in my personal opinion. Like, the Proud and Powerful versus the Lucha Bros for the AEW tag team titles, it's such a great match, and it is a dream match for a lot of AEW fans. Like, I think once that gets announced, just in general, if Proud and Powerful versus the Lucha Bros gets announced, like, imagine, like, just that match alone, a lot of people would be straight up excited, because you're talking about 2 of the best tag teams, not just in AEW, but in professional wrestling as a whole. So in my personal opinion, I think they should save this matchup either for the Arthur Ashe Stadium show in New York City or at Full Gear. But that's how I would do it, in my personal opinion. But either way, I'm definitely excited for that matchup. After that, we get an interview with Ruby Soho. And she's talking about, like, she's great to be here. She can't wait to fight for the AEW Women's Championship. After that, Britt Baker interrupts. Britt Baker, Rebel, Jamie Hayter all interrupted Ruby Soho. And oh my God, Britt Baker is such a fucking savage on the mic. She is an absolute savage. In her promo, she said that, there's no way you can beat me for the AEW Women's Championship. Shit, and said you're going to be sucking catering just like you did in the other place for 4 years. And holy shit, Britt Baker is an absolute savage on the mic. When I heard that, Britt Baker is absolutely one of the best in the world currently when it comes to mic skills. Her mic skills are off the fucking charts. Okay, Britt Baker is so incredible on the mic, in my opinion. I thought that was an amazing line by Britt Baker. And of course, after they left, Ruby Soho basically said to Tony Schiavone, I know that she's your girl, but I'm going to kick her ass. Okay, this is just the first, this is like the second time, like, both Ruby Soho and Britt Baker interacted, and I'm already excited for a future matchup between Ruby Soho and Britt Baker. Okay, I like right off the bat, so far, I think AEW is doing a great job building up Britt Baker versus Ruby Soho. I'm really loving how AEW, just so far, my initial reactions, I think AEW is doing an amazing job on building up Britt Baker versus Ruby Soho. At least in my opinion, so far. And again, I cannot wait what AEW has planned for this Britt Baker Ruby Soho rivalry. And yeah, I thought this was a great segment, in my opinion. After that, we got Will Hobbs going one-on-one against Dante Martin. And it was an okay match. It was an okay match. There were a couple of spots that were cool, but at the same time, there were also a couple of spots that were pretty sloppy, in my opinion. And yeah, it was just not it was just not a good matchup. It was okay for what it was, but it was pretty obvious that Will Hobbs and Dante Martin do not have any chemistry, because we all know that Will Hobbs put up great performances, and also Dante Martin as well. Not too long ago, Dante Martin had an amazing performance against Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Okay, so we all know how great Will Hobbs and Dante Martin are. It's just, unfortunately, the chemistry just wasn't there, and it just felt pretty sloppy, in my opinion. Again, it was okay for what it was, but I felt like a couple spots were pretty sloppy. So yeah, I was not too crazy about Will Hobbs or Dante Martin. This doesn't I'm still fans of both Will Hobbs and Dante Martin. Both guys are very, very talented in their own rights. Just the lack of chemistry just really hurt this matchup, in my opinion. But after that, we got an incredible heel promo by Dan Lambert, of course, now the manager of both Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. And again, I thought this was a great heel promo by Dan Lambert, in my opinion. I thought this is great. He is a great heel manager. We haven't seen him much in action yet, but his mic skills, mwah, awesome, in my opinion. After that, we get promos by both Matt Hardy and Orange Cassidy. And basically all the promos said is that Matt Hardy wants to cut Orange Cassidy's hair. Orange Cassidy said, okay. So apparently the rivalry is still going on between Matt Hardy and Orange Cassidy. And again, I didn't mind this rivalry happening, but I felt like it overstayed its welcome. This is best friends. This is the best friends versus Miro, Kip Sabian situation all over again. Okay, where I didn't mind the rivalry at first, but they just overdid it to the point where people are begging for that rivalry to end. And I feel like this rivalry between Matt Hardy and Orange Cassidy, people are starting to say that this rivalry is just overkill. This rivalry should have ended a couple of weeks ago. As a matter of fact, it should have ended when Orange Cassidy defeated Matt Hardy. I felt like that was 2 weeks ago. But it looks like they're continuing to do this rivalry. And again, even I'm starting to agree that the AEW is kind of overdoing this rivalry between Matt Hardy and Orange Cassidy. So hopefully this rivalry ends in the near future, because this rivalry is just overstaying its welcome, in my opinion. And apparently a lot of other people's opinion as well. But I definitely agree with them. I feel like this rivalry between Matt Hardy and Orange Cassidy just overstayed its welcome. It should have ended a couple of weeks ago when Orange Cassidy defeated Matt Hardy. That's when it should have ended, period. Okay, but obviously that was not the case. So it looks like this rivalry is still continuing. I won't say it's a bad rivalry, but yeah, I feel like it's kind of overstayed its welcome, in my opinion. After that, we get an incredible MJF segment. Okay, if you guys have not seen my videos, okay, I'm sure this is the first time you're hearing me saying this, but for the people that have seen my videos, you know what I'm going to say. MJF is the greatest heel of the modern era. He's the greatest heel of the modern era. MJF. Oh my God. This segment was so fucking well done. Like, he basically talked crap about Cincinnati. He talked crap about Brian Pillman Jr.'s family. He even talked crap about Wardlow a little bit. Okay. And my God, it was just so well done. It was so well done. If you guys have not seen this MJF segment, go out of your way to do so. Okay. This segment alone with MJF just goes to show that MJF is the greatest heel of the modern era. In that segment alone does not, like, for the people that watch Dynamite tonight, if that MJF segment did not show you that MJF is the greatest heel of the modern era, then I don't know what to tell you. Honestly, I just don't know what to tell you. MJF is the greatest heel of the modern era, at least in my opinion. Okay, as much as I love Roman Reigns, and again, Roman Reigns is doing a great job, but again, like, Roman Reigns is nowhere near MJF's level, in my opinion. MJF is just that damn good. He is the greatest heel of the modern era. And bro, I can see him as a freaking megastar one day. If AEW plays their cards right, they have a freaking megastar in MJF. He's just a gold mine. He is an absolute gold mine. Okay? Like, again, if you guys have not seen this segment, go out of your way to do so. This was such an incredible segment, in my opinion. But it looks like, so Brian Pillman comes out after basically MJF talked crap about his family. Brian Pillman comes out, he goes face to face, and basically MJF talked shit about Brian Pillman Jr.'s mother. And that was the final shot. Brian Pillman Jr. wanted to beat the shit out of MJF, but Wardlow, like, stopped Brian Pillman in his tracks. But then MJF started to talk shit about Wardlow as well, basically saying, like, hey, where were you at when I needed your help against Chris Jericho at All Out? Where were you at, huh? You're so worthless. So let me deal with this myself. Okay, go in the corner and wait. And Wardlow was fucking pissed. Wardlow wanted to beat the shit out of MJF. Okay, and then Brian Pillman just beats the shit out of MJF because MJF still talked about Brian Pillman Jr.'s mother, which I like was crazy. And then Brian Pillman Jr. beating the living shit up out of MJF, and there was a moment of hesitation by Wardlow. Like, Wardlow did not want to help MJF, which I like. Like, that was really good storytelling, in my opinion, because AEW has teased this breakup between MJF and Wardlow for a long time now. And matter of fact, this is giving me some Triple H Batista vibes back in like 2004, 2005 when Batista and Triple H were a part of Evolution. Like, this is giving me some of those vibes. So when Wardlow, we all know that Wardlow is going to attack MJF soon. Like, he's gonna like break away from MJF and the Pinnacle as a whole. And again, like, people are gonna go crazy when that happens. Okay, but so I like the long-term storytelling, and I really like the hesitation a little bit by Wardlow not wanting to help MJF. But he reluctantly helped MJF because Wardlow in kayfabe is on MJF's payroll. So he attacked Brian Pillman Jr. Give Garrison comes out trying to save his tag team partner. Oh my God. My goodness. So sorry, my Google thing just talked. That was pretty weird. But hopefully Skynet doesn't come to target me. But sorry, that was a bad joke. So Give Garrison comes trying to help Brian Pillman Jr. Obviously, that was a fail. And MJF actually hit Gift Garrison with his ring, and it looked like he was going to continue doing that, but Brian Pillman Jr. Basically protected Gift Garrison, and of course MJF and Wardlow retreated. So it looks like we're getting an MJF versus Brian Pillman Jr. program, and bro, I am all in for it. I am definitely all in for it. An MJF versus a Brian Pillman Jr. rivalry? Hell fucking yeah. And a matter of fact, it was confirmed that at the Arthur Ashe Stadium in that New York City show, we are going to get that matchup between MJF and Brian Pillman Jr. And I think that would be great. That is going to be a great matchup in my opinion. I cannot wait for that. After that, we got Ruby Soho going one-on-one against Jamie Hayter. This was Ruby Soho's debut matchup on Dynamite. And I thought this was a great match by both of these ladies. It was a bit rough a little bit, but again, I thought this was a great matchup by both of these ladies. There was this one part of the match though where Ruby Soho looked like she was going to do a poison Rana, but again, both ladies ended up in their faces. It was kind of a hard thing to watch, but again, they recovered. And other than that, I thought it was a great matchup by both of these ladies. Taking the poison Rana parts out of the matchup, I thought it was a very great matchup by both of these ladies. But Ruby Soho picks up the victory over Jamie Hayter. After that, Britt Baker and Rebel, after the matchup, attacked, of course, Ruby Soho. Riho came out and tried to save Ruby Soho. Obviously, it was a 3-on-1 situation, so it was a fail for Riho, and it looked like Ruby Soho was going to get her head cursed on the AEW Women's Championship title belt, but Chris Statlander came out with a chair, came for the save, and of course Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, and Rebel all retreated. And of course Chris Statlander making sure that both Riho and Ruby Soho is okay. And a matter of fact, it has been announced that this Friday on Rampage, there's going to be a 6-woman tag team match as Ruby Soho, Chris Statlander, and Riho will go against Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, and Rebel. So that is going to happen this Friday on Rampage. So after that, we get a 6-man tag team match. We get a trios match as the Pinnacles, Shawn Spears and FTR going against the Dark Orders, Evil Uno, Sue Grayson, and John Silver. And I thought this was a great match. Very, very great matchup between both of these teams. Obviously, there is a lot of dissension between Evil Uno, Sue Grayson, and John Silver. Obviously, they're having their little mini civil war over the situation with Hangman Adam Page. And Shawn Spears and FTR picks up the victory over the Dark Order, which I thought was a very, very great matchup in my opinion. But after that, basically the Dark Order just exploded. It self-destructed. Members just started to beat the shit out of each other. There was a lot of pushing. There was a lot of dissension. And Jay and Ty Conti try to stop the situation. Obviously, it wasn't helping. And yeah, basically the Dark Order, it's not fine. The Dark Order is not fine whatsoever. And I really, really like this storytelling a little bit where Hangman Adam Page leaving the Dark Order really took effect on the Dark Order, and the Dark Order was just never the same, to the point where members of the Dark Order just started to hate each other, and then it all culminated with tonight, which is just crazy to see. I would love to see when Hangman Page comes back, he would try to reunite the Dark Order family. That's going to be a very, very cool storyline, in my opinion. But yeah, I honestly like this Dark Order Civil War going on right now, in my opinion. And when Hangman Adam Page returns, I I really want to see how that plays out, and I really want to see how Heyman Adam Page tries to bring the Dark Order back together. So that's going to be very, very interesting. I thought it was really, really cool, in my opinion. After that, we get a small segment of all the ladies' thoughts in the Casino Battle Royal. Obviously, we got a lot of rivalries that came out of the Casino Battle Royal. Obviously, we got Anna Jay and Ty Conti. They have problems with the Bunny and Penelope Ford, who are now a duo now, which is pretty random. But hey, Jay Cardhill now has a problem with Nyla Rose, and that's going to be very interesting. And, of course, Thunder Rosa was very disappointed in her losing, but she said that she's going to grind it out, and she's going to eventually come for that AEW Women's Championship. I'm telling you, that Britt Baker-Thunder Rosa rivalry is coming. It is coming. Honestly, after this Britt Baker-Ruby Soho rivalry, I think it's the time to do Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa. After this Britt Baker-Ruby Soho rivalry, I think they should do Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa after Britt Baker is done with Ruby Soho, in my opinion. So after that, we get a promo with Tully Blanchard, and he made a matchup with Shawn Spears, as Shawn Spears will face Darby Allin next week on Dynamite, which is going to be a great match. But apparently, Tully Blanchard teased a matchup with Sting, which, okay, here's the thing. No offense to both of these legends. I love Tully Blanchard and I love Sting. Both legends are just incredible. They will go down as two. Sting and Tully Blanchard will go down as two of the best and two of the most influential wrestlers in the wrestling industry. But doing this matchup now between Sting and Tully Blanchard, not only is it a bad idea, but it's completely unnecessary. Why all of a sudden do Tully Blanchard want to face Sting? It doesn't make any sense. It's not going to translate into a good matchup despite their ages. Okay, and they could prove us wrong. Sting still looks great. The way he wrestles, it's like he never lost a step. But he's going against Tully Blanchard, who lost a lot of his wrestling ability. Okay, again, Tully Blanchard could prove us wrong, but it's just a bad idea and just completely unnecessary, in my opinion. But that's basically all I got to say on that. I hope this matchup between Sting and Tully Blanchard doesn't happen whatsoever. So that's all I got to say on that. After that, we get an interview with Brian Pillman Jr., and he gets interrupted by Max Caster. The Acclaim has made their return to AEW Dynamite. Welcome back, Max Caster. I just want you to chill on the rape jokes and the rape references. But other than that, I'm glad you're back. And again, I love your edgy raps, Max Caster. But again, just chill on the rape jokes and the rape references. Okay? But yeah, I'm glad you're back, Max Caster. And apparently, Max Caster is going to make his AEW Rampage debut this Friday, as Max Caster will go one-on-one with Brian Pillman Jr. So there is that. After that, we get an interview. We get the segment with the Elite, the Elite, and Adam Cole. Kenny Omega comes out. The entire Elite comes out. They call out Adam Cole. They kick out Tony Schiavone, and Adam Cole did a great promo. Adam Cole is another one. Adam Cole is another one that's incredible on the mic. Honestly, when it comes to mic skills, if we're just talking about mic skills and nothing else, AEW has some of the best people on their payroll in terms of mic work. People like Britt Baker, Adam Cole, Eddie Kingston, Dan Lambert. All these people are just incredible on the mic. Okay. And it also helps that all of these promos are non-scripted. Okay. Like, we don't have to hear none of this scripted bullshit. Like every promo feels real. Every promo feels genuine. And Adam Cole is no different. Adam Cole is just incredible on the freaking mic. And of course, Kenny Omega said that he doesn't like interruptions. And then Bryan Danielson interrupts Kenny Omega. Well, before I talk about that, Adam Cole did say that Adam Cole well, Adam Cole said that he will make his AEW Dynamite debut next week. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit because I'm very, very excited for that. But Bryan Danielson comes out, interrupts the Elite. Kenny Omega, in matter of fact, takes everyone from the Elite. Kenny Omega tells the Elite to wait in the outside. And then we get this fucking stare down between Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson. And holy shit, the people lost their minds. I lost their minds. I never thought in a million years that we would actually get a Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson matchup again. But we are getting it, and I am so fucking happy. And just seeing these two face off is just incredible. Like, just the fact that we're this close to getting another Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson match after all these years makes me so, so excited. So Bryan Danielson talks crap about Kenny Omega. He's ready to fight. Kenny Omega's ready to fight. And Bryan Danielson actually takes down Kenny Omega and actually made Kenny Omega tap. The rest of the Elite attacked Bryan Danielson. But then Christian Cage, Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Marco Stunt, and Frankie Kazarian all came out and came for the save, helping out on Bryan Danielson. And of course, once again, the Elite and the Anti-Elite, I'm going to call Bryan Danielson's group the Anti-Elite, of course, once again, face to face. The Elite on the stage, Bryan Danielson's group standing tall. And yeah, it was just an incredible segment, in my opinion. Like I said, the segments on this show really, really carried the show, in my opinion. Now, this is the part of the review where I go over the matches that are happening on Rampage this Friday and Dynamite next week. Now, here's what has been announced for Rampage this Friday. This Friday, we're going to get Andrade El Idolo going against Pac. We get Ruby Soho, Chris Statlander, and Riho going against Britt Baker, Rebel, and Jamie Hayter. And we get Brian Pillman going one-on-one against Max Caster. Also, we got Sting and Darby Allin responding to Tully Blanchard. All of that is happening on Rampage this Friday. And Rampage this Friday is very, very stacked, in my opinion. And of course, some of the matches that has been announced for Dynamite next week, as Adam Cole will make his AEW Dynamite debut as he goes one-on-one against the Elite Killer, Frankie Kazarian. Yo, that's going to be a great matchup, in my opinion. That is going to be a phenomenal match. Maybe a match of the year candidate, in my opinion. That's going to be a phenomenal matchup between Adam Cole and Frankie Kazarian. And I have very high expectations for that matchup. That matchup is going to be incredible, and I cannot wait for that matchup next week. Also, we're going to get Jade Cargill going one-on-one against a returning Layla Hirsch. And holy shit, I'm such a big fan of Layla Hirsch. She is back on Dynamite, and she is going against Jade Cargill. I fucking love Layla Hirsch. Obviously, we all know Jade Cargill is going to more than likely win this matchup. But I'm just glad that Layla Hirsch is back on Dynamite. I'm such a big fan of Layla Hirsch. And we're also going to get Darby Allin versus Shawn Spears next week. So some of the matches, so those are some of the matches that have been announced for Dynamite next week. And just by those 3 matches alone, AEW like Dynamite next week is very, fairly stacked, in my opinion. Also, it has been announced that at the Arthur Ashe show in New York City, Cody Rhodes is going to make his return as he is going to have his anticipated rematch against Malachi Black. So we're going to get Cody Rhodes versus Malachi Black 2 on the Arthur Ashe show in New York City. So we are going to get the rematch, and that's going to be very, very interesting. After that, we get the fun main event as Jon Moxley went one-on-one against Minoru Suzuki. And first of all, I was extremely disappointed that we didn't get a Kazi Namer. They just cut it off right there. We didn't get to say that on Dynamite. They didn't let that play out on Dynamite, which was very disappointing in my opinion, and definitely was disappointing to a lot of fans on the show tonight. I don't know why AEW, probably because it was the show time was almost over anyways. We got about 10-15 minutes to do that matchup, so I kind of understand, but still it was very disappointing. But we were able to do it at All Out, so yeah, it's not too disappointing, but still. But yeah, that's honestly the only thing that I had a problem with. Everything else was great. Jon Moxley versus Minoru Suzuki was everything I ever asked for. It was just a straight up fight. A straight up fight. Both men absolutely beat the living shit out of each other. This wasn't a wrestling match. This was a straight up fight, and I loved every second of it. Every single second of it, in my opinion. Oh man, I'm tired. I'm sorry. But yeah, I thought this was a great matchup, a straight up fight, and I loved every second of it. Every single second of it. And yeah, that's basically all I got to say on that. Jon Moxley picks up the victory over Minoru Suzuki in a hard-fought matchup. I do wish the matchup was a bit longer, though. I was a bit disappointed that this matchup was very short, but that's basically my only criticism about this matchup. Other than that, I thought this was a I thought this was a great way to end AEW Dynamite tonight. A straight-up fight between Moxley and Suzuki. Awesome stuff. Love every second of it. And yeah, that's basically all I got to say. And that was AEW Dynamite for you. And again, this is not exactly one of AEW's strongest shows, but it was still a fun and very enjoyable show, in my opinion. So yeah, that's basically all I got to say on that. I want to know what you guys think in the comments section. What do you guys think about tonight's show? Was there something you like? What did you guys like it? Did you guys not like it? Was there something specifically you like? Was there something specifically you hate? I want to know what you guys think in the comments section. But I know it's late. It's almost 12 o'clock. Shit, I'm kind of tired myself. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you for taking your time out of your day or out of your evening to watch this. Much appreciated. And if you guys like this video, make sure you leave a like. Make sure you leave a comment. And if you guys like the content that I make sure you subscribe and leave the notification bell so that way you don't miss any of my videos. And until next time, this is Gabriel, and I'll see you next time in the asylum. Have a nice night, everyone.